Yeah, the banner. Almost forgot that very important fucking self-promotion bullshit.
Bullshit.
You know what I want to do? I want to go get back to fucking
Go.
Action Time Madden and for like 10 minutes and then go play more fucking Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, Curse of the Dark Night Moon.
The Wolf.
Curse of the Wolf. Yeah, we don't feel like doing streams, any of this gay shit. I'm not going to do it on any schedule. I'm not doing it in prime time, but I figured the most important, interesting, funny shit happened yesterday. But no, it's fucking it's just like fucking is what we were saying. This is the natural result of people who go against us. It's because they were mentally ill to begin with. It is a sure sign.
If one was conspiratorial, one would almost assume that it had something to do with us instead of them.
Yeah, that we make them mentally ill, or that we have crafted the who made who, one might say, as AC/DC. Fucking Grammy award-winning composers in AC/DC, one said. It is bizarre. It's bizarre even to us, but it's like the day after the stuff with Odie quitting Liam Gray's comic because
Liam Gray is so incompetent.
Yeah, he printed the comic in double reverse. I think like yesterday on Twitter or something, I may have even gotten the double reversed, where because it's impossible to even know. It's like I think I said he printed
the levels of stupidity that we're dealing with here.
He printed the comic left to right, and then it reads right to left. But in reality, he printed the comic right to left, and it reads left to right, or something. One of those is correct, and I don't know which one. And you know what? I don't care. And if you care,
hey,
yeah,
who the fuck?
It doesn't matter. Fuck. None of this matters.
Besides, man, who the hell cares?
Who the hell is? So, but what happened today is, I don't know if it was because of that, but it wasn't even today. It says 20 hours ago, February 20th at noon.
Because I don't have Twitter. I don't follow any of this gay shit.
But it was right after here. NerdWonder. I don't think I can zoom in on this, but it doesn't matter. Because we linked on our Discord, we linked to it. It's on Twitter. It's in public. It's already been archive linked. That has been fucking linked out. Just when things couldn't get funnier about Liam Gray, NerdWonder leaks a bunch of. To sum up real quick, NerdWonder leaked a bunch of DMs of Liam Gray trying to cyberfuck her, and it fucking like here's the
cyber
beginning of this.
If you look at it, it's like cyber rape.
Yeah, he just starts fucking her right out of nowhere. It looks like. Now Liam claims he's gonna post the context, and he acted really smug. This is another thing that we were saying on Discord that's been true for decades, maybe centuries, and that nobody's ever really pointed out before, except for us, but that. The more confident and assured somebody acts, the more they're lying. The way that
when somebody gets called out on
when a grifter is confident, when a grifter gets caught, they just become more confident. That's how all scams have always worked. Is that every single scammer, when they get caught, when the whole thing starts crumbling around them, they just get more confident and more self-assured.
They act confident at least.
It's an act. It's an act for other people. It's not for themselves. It's for the other people.
It also doesn't last.
Yeah, it's part of the collapse state of a grift. So of course, Liam Gray's response was, "Ooh, gasp! I'll fucking show you the gasp context." And it's like,
I'll show you.
But it's like
I'll
every
prove to you I'm not
see, this is how anime fans always have been, is this gay emoting in star shit. We used to make fun of this back in the early 2000s.
Oh boy, holy shit, way back.
In fact, here the top DM from Liam, and I would love to see the context. Please, Liam, by all means, show the context.
That's actually the thing is, I'll be really disappointed if we don't get to see the context.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not going to look good for him anyways. There is no version of context that's going to make this look
That's why I want to see the context, because it's just going to make him look bad.
Yes.
And he probably won't understand why.
Yeah, because he's in Comicsgate, because he's a comic nerd, and because he's a weeb. It's like the
It's
trifecta in the bag.
it's like he's already got 2 strikes against him. He's both a fucking cape fag and a weeb.
Yes, how much worse can things get? But anyways, in Stars, Liam Gray, just like it seems like out of nowhere, in Stars, he puts his hand on your cheek, then traces his fingers back along the edge of your ear and kisses you passionately.
And he probably slobbers a lot. He's probably all greasy.
Yeah,
and he's just slobbering and drooling like a weeaboo usually tends to be.
He's gluing the fucking the head of his fucking tiny dick to the underside of his desk with pre. Here comes Dupree. That's what Liam Gray said to himself before he typed
his laptop is actually resting on his gunt.
It's a tiny gunt because he is a tiny dwarflet. He's not even a manlet. He doesn't rise to the level of manlet.
We tower over him.
Yeah, the fucking it was something not worth bringing up necessarily, but it's funny for anyone who has known us for like 20 years, I guess. This is a reference for all the people who have known us for 20 years, not following us for 20 years, but like, so basically you, me, and Crate, just the way that Liam Gray describes doing things as passionately, it's just kind of weird how history repeats itself. But that's a reference.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, is this is like, it's typical behavior, but it's so typical, it's actually a little shocking. I mean, we also have not had that much content.
Yeah, it's shocking how predictable it is. We used to make fun of this kind of exact shit. The passionately part specifically.
It's been a long time, but it's also very just timeless.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is that the memes we created decades ago are surely timeless. But also a little too universal and big picture for the normie cattle, for the inferior, the left of the bell curve to really understand or comprehend. Anyways, the apparently this broad NerdWonder, I don't really fucking follow her or care.
Don't know who she is. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's one of those things where Star Wars nerds are like, oh, she's actually, and who cares? Fucking,
I don't care.
Is she in Red Letter Media? No, then I don't give a shit. Was she on Cumtown? Was she a guest on Cumtown? No, then I don't give a fuck.
Of course she isn't.
No. Anyway, she said, but she replies with the fucking just sudden in Stars rape. He could have just said rapes passionately in Stars. It would have been amounted to the same thing. It would have been more hot, if anything. Better written, better fucking. It's funny because this is from 2020, so this is a good example of his fucking.
This has been going on. This is what's been going on while you stupid ass fucking idiots have been defending him and giving him money.
Yeah. Comicsgate, you've been funding him. In fact, NerdWonder, you've been supporting this yourself. So it's like, fucking, it's the only redeeming thing is leaking this so far, because she still supports other people who are just as bad as Liam Gray, if not worse. But she's not going to admit that.
This is also, isn't this he's also the guy who had he's got his crew of girl hanger-ons that are his employees or something.
There was 2 of them. Yeah, there was a couple, and I'm not even sure if they show up anymore, but he's acting like the way he said he groomed Odie, he's now talking about how he's grooming new female artists too. And it's but you're not talented, you suck. So it kind of speaks to their lack of judgment, lack of good judgment, that you would have them connected to you. It's Odie actually posted a link to some new comic that he's doing on his own, and it's well, good for you, and I retweeted it, but I don't think I care, because you were willingly.
I was actually going to say it looks at least about as good as the fucking other comic he did with fucking Liam, which basically just goes to show, why do we need Liam?
Yeah, what do you need Liam for? What's that for? I mean, not to make an offer, not to even pretend that or make an offer, but if any artist wanted to actually make a good comic, we know several people. One of them, two of them really is us. I mean, and that's not my opinion. It's fucking like Tim Lim's opinion and Mark Pellegrini. They apparently think we're good enough.
And Doug TenNaples' opinion.
Yeah. But I mean, Doug TenNaples didn't pay us to write a comic. Tim and Mark did. And it's like, if that's their opinion, clearly, I think, maybe they know something a little more than just these other people who are fiddling around with like borderline retarded writers who are terrible writers, zero experience, never written a comic book, never wanted to make a comic book before, suddenly saying out of nowhere that they want to make comics. Meanwhile, me and my brother have been writing and making comics for years, and ours are obviously better. That's the thing, though. It's inversely proportional. The quality of your writing is inversely proportional to the popularity of your writing. So the shittiest writers will be the most popular, and then the best writers will be like the least appreciated, especially but appreciated by the people with the
when
most
you're talking
talent.
about
again,
somebody
Tim
who
and Mark
stepped
and
in at the
Doug
very
TenNaples.
beginning with the grift of we're going to save the comics from SJWs.
Yeah, that's all they believed in. They didn't believe in any good writing. They're just like, I don't like SJW. But no one in Comicsgate was, even for 1 second, any better than any SJW writer. In fact, several of them were worse. In fact, usually the louder they were, the worse they were than the SJW writers all sucked. But Comicsgate was even worse, which is
Comicsgate
really
made them look good by comparison.
Yeah, and that's what Comicsgate ultimately Comicsgate's legacy is, that they validated SJW writers, and
never should have happened.
Yeah, in fact, we said in 2015 and 2016, don't do that, and then Comicsgate went and did the opposite. You see the result here is all this kind of shit, this behavior coming out.
Blame us for even pointing this out, for even noticing.
Yeah, don't blame us.
Going to get angry at us.
Blame SWC. But
stop blaming SWC, because you just keep doing it like retards.
You did it to yourself. Why do they keep coming to us?
You played yourself as Royce Lopez of ROTC.
DJ Royce Lopez of Revenge of the Sis once said, "Congratulations, you played yourself." Anyways, in response to the sudden fucking InStars RP cyber fuck
cyber rape
geek Dirk girl nerd girl says, hate to say it, but I'm not really into the whole sexy role play thingum. Reminds me a lot of the furry stuff. And he just says, fair card. And she says, I'm not that into sexual romance. And
not into
and Liam's like,
douchebags.
Yeah, furries. Liam says, furry's not my thing. That is cool. It's all learning. Learning what? Learning. What? Hopefully, clearly not learning how to write. But.
Yeah, this is not how you learn, by the way, is,
I'm
going to attempt to rape you. Oh, I guess I learned now. I learned an important lesson. Don't rape.
Yeah.
We learned something new today.
Remember the advert.
Remember the on the telly.
On the telly, the ad on the telly. What?
Huh? That's literally him.
If you want to know the real price of an illegal minicab, just ask a rape victim. Don't.
Worst advice I ever heard.
Anyways, Liam Gray being like, "Oh, that's cool. It's all learning." Again,
you're not saying it's stupid enough.
Liam replies to Dork Girl by saying, "How come he talks like that? Why is he talking like dope?
Is it dope?
You can't even understand what he's saying. Why is Liam Gray like that in real life?
Why is he talking this retarded manner?
Why does he sound like a retard? And then also he talks like a retard, and then also
He writes
is
like a retard. A fucking retard.
But I mean, he fucking the whole role play cyber sex in stars thing is like pure teenager. If you're a teenager or maybe
not even teenager. It's again, he's got the intellect of like a fucking 5-year-old.
But he's also maybe he finds, like, according to that Prometheus fanfic he wrote, he thinks that a 5-year-old can be sexually attracted or sexually curious to grown men like himself. I don't know why. I don't know why he wrote that and was clearly into that sort of
I think
thing.
I know why he wrote it. It's just that I don't approve.
You know what's also
I
funny is that
disapprove.
all this reminded me of like, in fact, I don't think I saw this yet. I was just thinking about it because of yesterday, but I was just thinking in general, Liam Gray fully blackmailed Preston Poulter, just straight up was going to blackmail Preston Poulter for our docs. And and I forgot that it was like, why didn't anyone tell YouTube about this? Why didn't anyone tag in YouTube? And I go and search through our Discord for the picture for the screen cap of Liam Gray's email where he fucking blackmails. And there's all these tweets of us tagging YouTube and being like, hey, this guy blackmailed us. It's worth bringing up again, I'm sure.
Especially now that he could be on the verge of a serious incident.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube should be fucking responsible for trying to protect himself from himself, at least. Now, yes, furry's not my thing. That is cool. It's all learning. Good job learning.
I definitely have to say, I don't want this guy knowing where we live or who we are.
I mean, clearly, yeah, I wouldn't normally have
like
a problem with being doxxed.
He seems like a sexual deviant.
Yeah, look at these
possibly
people.
Also. I wonder, does he fuck dogs too? We know he murders dogs.
No, I think he just kills them.
He only kills dogs?
Merely the merest murder.
He only kills dogs and he only rapes women.
If anyone would know that dead puppies aren't much fun, it would be Liam Gray. Anyways, yeah, so he said...
If he thinks dead puppies aren't very much fun, why does he kill all of them?
Yeah, why does he keep doing it? How come he keeps doing it?
Why does he kill every single puppy?
Could it be yet another thing that Liam Gray is in denial about? I mean, that is pretty common behavior for Comicsgate, is to be in denial of objective fact that has been quantified and proven hundreds of times over. I don't know, but I can't speak for these mentally ill people. The schizos need their meds, and they're either not getting enough or taking too much.
I would say not enough.
Yeah,
not enough. They need an overdose.
Dope them into oblivion.
Dope them to the gills.
Fucking. Oh yeah, what was the thing is that Ethan Van Sciver is on so much lithium that you could shove your phone up his ass and a half hour later it would be charged. But good luck getting it back because he's too busy calling it constantly. Because he's gay.
He's too busy. His ass is making love to that phone.
Ethan Van Sciver is so gay, but also more than he's gay is that he's mentally ill and on powerful, debilitating doses of psychotropic medications that he needs to be on for his rapid cycling bipolar disorder and perhaps a hint of schizophrenia. And that's not us like joking or making like some kind of
he's so crazy
accusation. He was diagnosed. Ethan Van Sciver was diagnosed with.
He's so crazy. He's gay.
Yes, he's crazy for he's not crazy. He's retarded for cum. TM.
He's crazy gay,
crazy madly gay. Anyways, Liam says I made a move to see if you were into it and me. You weren't. It's all in caps. Good. Yeah, all caps.
No, it's not all good.
No, it ain't all right. Fucky, give me another fucking latte, decrackinated. Okay, fucky. But he says, lesson learned. Yeah, I'm sure Liam learned a very important lesson on this one. I don't know. He doesn't seem to actually learn a lesson, but anyway.
He is a fucking pure incel. I mean, we were making jokes before. This is what they act like, though.
That's the thing about Comicsgate is that they'll accuse anyone else of being an incel while they themselves. I mean, it's pure projection. It's the SE Mods rule, which was later bastardized into Sargon's Law, and then fucking
Sargon's not allowed to have it anymore. Fuck him.
No, and then also SJWs always lie. It was like number 2 is like, oh, they always project, and there was something that you pointed out before Sargon and before Teddy Spaghetti. But the next one, this one's actually even weirder. Liam says, I am usually only wanted because I am good at sex and I have money. You're like sex and money. Wow, you're tripping me out.
And he has both. And you
know it. Lone Star. Anyways.
This is he's talking like somebody who has never even been around a woman outside of his immediate family.
Yes, he's fucking. Maybe he fucked somebody in his immediate family, but aside from that,
and by fucked you mean got fucked by.
But you see the fucking. It's funny because it was obvious Liam Gray was like, when I read this where he's like, I'm good at sex, I have money, and he says, so when those things don't matter to a girl, I'm a bit lost. Lol. You can tell not a word of this is true, but the thing is, like, we knew it was very obvious that not only Liam Gray, but pretty much every single person in Comicsgate is like this, where they act like they're a rich sex god or
they're pure alpha sigma bravo
yes
fucking shit
Bravo Sierra fucking. Any Ligma, fucking. That's what Liam Gray is. He's a Ligma. He's not an alpha or a fucking beta.
He's not a sigma, and he's not a lima or a limbo
or a lambda.
A lambda, whatever.
He's a Ligma. Yes, Liam Gray is a Ligma. He doesn't even rise to the level of beta or omega. Anyways, he says, bit worried I'll be friend zoned, and she says, I'm not into long distance relationships.
I would say he should be used to being friend zoned, but he probably never even approached to the level of getting friend zoned.
He was never able to achieve the fucking thing where he would be friend zoned. Anyway, she says, I'm not into long distance relationships, and he gives that a thumbs up. There's so many different like fractals of simping that converge into just this one.
It's like the long division of cope. It's like the calculus of cope.
Yes, but the thing is, it's also Liam Gray is not doing anything different that every single other person in Comicsgate hasn't already done, or tried to act like everyone in War Campaign has not only done this, but they act like they're like rough and tumble street fighters, like Liam Gray has also done. But the thing is that in person they're complete pussies that are.
I mean, you can see it doesn't matter. You can see through them. You can see right through them like glass. Yeah.
But it's the classic, like even it's the old 4chan meme of the internet tough guy, the keyboard warrior, who acts like a total badass, but in real life is a complete pussy.
Yeah, this could easily. That's actually the thing is this could really very easily just become another Navy SEAL copy pasta.
Yeah, exactly.
Easily,
yes. Everything Liam Gray here is saying could not only easily copy pasta, but in a way we had already turned it into copy pasta before the phrase copy pasta ever existed. That's how great we are. But that's the thing is,
the curve
when we brag like that, it's based off of actual events that other people were around to witness.
It wasn't even bragging before. It has to become brag.
Yes.
It has to become braggadocious. Yeah, because all of you stupid ass motherfuckers are so behind the curve. You're so pathetic.
Yeah, other people are like, oh, you're bragging. And it's like, no, it happened. It comes off as bragging because people don't know what it's like to actually have done something, crazy or weird or
they're so boring. Yeah, I mean, you can of course see that from a lot of their works, a lot of the stuff they do. They're just boring.
Yeah,
extremely boring people, uncreative.
Yeah. Everyone in Comicsgate, you can judge their personality by the comics they made. They are boring people.
Again, it's comics
by their writing.
It's comics. It's fiction. You have the ability to create anything, and especially in comics, you are completely unlimited. You are unbound by anything, and all they can come up with is, we're going to make comics like the 90s. No, you're not even going to do that.
There's a good guy, a superhero, and he's on the rooftop. And he punches bad guy,
Why is he on the rooftop?
My
It
name is
doesn't matter.
Computer
Then
Puntar.
I don't care about your comic anymore.
Yeah, as
You
soon as
haven't
I see
even
that, it's
thought.
like boring.
You didn't even give it a second's thought.
You sat down for work,
So why
sharpened
should
your
I?
pencils, and threw up your hands and said, "Well, I'm out of ideas." That's
You
comic.
arrived to your job and said, "Well, I give up."
Yes. How come Comicsgate
First
did
day
that?
on the job. First day
But
on the
then they
job,
demanded,
burgeoning
but then
with
they
new
screamed for money.
potential.
I
And you're
deserve money
fucking
for not doing
the
anything.
first thing you fucking did at your job was admit you can't do it.
And then when they got their money, they're like, "Look at all the money I'm getting." And it's like, "But you're shit, right?"
You're shit,
Again,
and
this
you're
is proven,
fucking
this proves
ruining the
everything we've
fucking
said about
medium.
Comicsgate from the very beginning. Liam Gray got $80,000, and this is the talent of his writing. This is also the talent of everyone in Comicsgate. This is the height of their talent is like Liam Gray's DMs here. That's as good as you're ever going to get from Comicsgate.
The most entertainment I ever got from Comicsgate was watching these people in real life completely shit the bed in hilarious fashion.
It bears repeating again that if there are any artists out there who want to work on an actual good comic, you're looking at two experts right here, legitimate experts, where
We
other
have-
pros
We have already outdone them.
wanted our writing to draw,
We've outdone them in every single way.
except for the money, of course.
Yeah.
Which again, the money always goes to the people with the least talent, and then the least amount of money goes to the people with the most. That's not our observation or anything. That's not even us being like, "Oh, it's not even sour grapes or anything." It's objectively quantifiable, and Comicsgate is part of that quantification.
I'll freely admit, I wish I had that kind of money. Because I would do something better. That was the thing, is originally with fucking Ethan Van Sciver and Richard C. Meyer, they got 100,000 plus for each of their fucking campaigns. And I was actually kind of jazzed for them. It's like, all right, now we're finally going to see a new publishing company come from both of them.
Or just some kind of new, like a new paradigm, and it's a new.
And we both know what happened to that. We both know what happened to them.
We have seen. You can see and observe. That's another thing that people don't really realize is that it's not subjective. It is like people are like, isn't it subjective? The answer to that is no.
No, it's not.
Anyways, but you know, all that is being sidetracked, but it's always worth to brag because every single day for us has been a new validation of everything we've ever said. And the real pros,
not just the validation. Well, I'm just tired of these people's existence. I'm hoping to drive them to suicide. And if I don't, then the point is, the existence is that it's funny either way. If they don't die, I get to laugh at their continued failures.
Yes.
If they do die, I get to laugh at them.
So they can do new things that we can laugh at some more.
Or if they die, then at least people who are shit, who suck shit, are fucking deservedly out of the gene pool like they should be.
Yes. Exterminate them down to last man, woman, and child. Perhaps. Oh, in Minecraft now, I guess.
Or Minecraft, Jesse. Minecraft.
Anyways, yeah. So she says, "I'm not into long distance relationships," and he's trying to completely play it off by saying, "Oh, who would be?"
And
but you can tell he got
a long distance relationship
right in the balls.
It's a long distance relationship that can be measured in his waistband.
He says, "I'm certainly not, but it's not like I'm going to meet my wife here in small town rural Australia. Ha! It's good we had this conversation." Like he's trying to act like we could get married. Can we get married? Maybe.
And this is the way a fucking maybe an 8-year-old would respond. He's got the libido of an 8-year-old and the intellect of a 4-year-old.
It's just getting younger and younger. He has the emotional maturity of a 0-year-old and the
writing talent of a negative 2-year-old.
Yes. Anyways, so he's like, it's good we had these conversations. Yeah, he's like so thirsty for like any female approval, and that is
an incel.
Proof of being a virgin. He's a kissless.
He is an incel. He's a kissless, fucking hugless, handholdless, fucking incel. Somehow he came. I bet he was a C-section. He was a C-section birth.
He was desperate. Yeah, he's a C-section birth, meaning that he didn't even touch a pussy once while being born. He didn't.
He never even touched his own mother's
his mother's cunt. Your mother's cunt. Your mother's
The
cunt.
closest he ever got to touching a woman is when he punched his own mom in the face.
I believe it was actually his grandma. But hey.
Well, but the point is, that's the closest he's ever come to contact with a woman was beating up his elderly fucking grandmother.
Elderly grandmother. Why is he calls him a motherfucker.
He called her a motherfucker.
Anyways, he says, it's good we have these conversations so we know where each other stands. And I want you to know, it will not change our friendship at all. You are a good communicator. And she says, but maybe in another part, I have to do a goofy voice for her too. Maybe another part of Australia. Thank you. I value her friendship a lot. She's mentioning like fucking water filters here for some reason. I don't know why.
Pure
fucking but just like unironic friend zoning right there too, which to be honest, if anyone,
this guy just tried to rape you and you're fucking being a little friend zony with him.
Here, this is the dumbest part maybe of all of that. I mean, it's hard to top what we just saw.
Yeah, it's a fucking new quantification of
dumb. After I value our friendship a lot, he says, so do I, but I still love to have our friendship and fuck your brains out. #romance in a DM.
He just used a hashtag in a DM?
Yeah, fucking why? Who are you hashtagging for? Therefore, friendo. So, and then she says, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. And he says, nope.
Never going to happen. He can put those brownie points right next to the hot cocoa.
Wow, that's actually a good reference. Wasn't that was from Gamergate, wasn't it?
No, it was from fucking R9K.
Oh,
I used to read and laugh at R9K a lot,
wasn't it?
I used to read and laugh at a whole bunch of R9K.
Oh, you got both of us banned from R9K. I never posted to R9K. Oh, no. You got both of us banned.
Specifically, the 8chan. I guess that ban has been lifted now because 8chan is gone.
Yeah, that's right. 8chan's gone. And it was because the thing is, you got both of us banned from R9K because you posted a video from our old shitty webcomics channel
reviewing their dumb Halo
banned
comic
by Liam Gray. That was funded by Ethan Van Sciver. Unironically, there's no argument about that. Ethan Van Sciver directly paid Liam Gray, who false flagged and then blackmailed Preston Poulter for our docs. But on our old channel, we had that. It was like the Halo 2 cutscenes, but it was about
it's somebody who clearly had a lot of reverence and love for Halo 2, the Halo 2 story.
But we reviewed that comic, and we were actually kind of positive about it, but we're still making jokes. So everyone on R9K got
they're very upset. They could not handle the bans.
And you got banned for like you didn't even fucking do anything else beyond that. You just posted it, and you got banned for that. Which goes to show how thin-skinned these nerds are. It's sort of like how Democrats are the real racists, War Campaign are the real incels, or Comicsgate are the real incels.
I mean, they like comic books.
Yeah, you like comic books.
They like comic books.
It's literally the bottom of the nerd barrel because if you're into comic books, that means you're not just an incel, but you're angry about it, and then you act like you're a fucking total Chad, and then you not only act like you're a Chad, but you go around being like, oh, this guy's a Chad, this guy's a total Chad, to other like whiny, faggoty, effeminate nerds, which we've mentioned a bunch of that before. We've gone into that. So we just wanted to do a quick little yet another gloat stream. Again, every day is another fresh validation of everything we've ever said about Comicsgate and about comic books.
Just another day.
Yeah, it's just another day for us. So unlike share, don't comment. I didn't actually go through the chat. Well, maybe we should go through the chat. Fucking Liam Gray would fit in with PETA where they kill puppies on a weekly. They do that. Yeah, here's the thing about Liam Gray. Liam Gray has a reason.
No, that doesn't really fit because PETA is actually killing puppies because they have to put them to sleep because they can't take care of them. Liam Gray is just straight up running a puppy mill. Then he just kills the puppies anyway. Probably because he's like a burgeoning serial killer. I mean, he wants our docs. What did we do that made him so angry that he had to hunt us down in real life to come after us? And the only answer that I have is we didn't like his comic.
No, that is the answer. It's not the only answer we have. That is actually the only answer. There's also an element of critical analysis and criticism of not just him or his comic, but of Comicsgate, where we critically analyzed Comicsgate and they failed, like they lost the argument.
His failure as a human being and as a living thing in general kind of comes through. It comes through the work,
which is not good.
It's not good.
Yeah, Alfonso Pruti says the con artist comes from confident. Yeah, that is true. Actually, it's confidence game. It's called the confidence game. Why? Because I take your confidence. No, because I give you mine.
Passionate grabs hold of neck and squeezes romantically. Yeah, that's definitely one thing. Is like I would want to make sure to get the message across to any young girls that might be fooled by this. He might just kill you.
Yeah, Liam Gray might murder you. If you're a female artist and you're hooking up with Liam Gray, he might murder you.
He'll probably he'll cut your skin off and wear it as a suit. Or he secretly wants to be a woman,
or so into wings, like he's becoming a great red dragon, perhaps. All these things are possible. It's all possible. Oh yeah, there's been a lot of other Liam's response to this. It's worth mentioning again, by the way, that the rest of Comicsgate is using Liam as like, oh, look how crazy Liam is. Remember, Comicsgate fully supported him and funded him to $80,000. That didn't come from just nowhere. That came from Comicsgate approving of Liam Gray's behavior.
It certainly didn't come from anyone's appraisal of his work.
Yes.
It came from basically him kissing the ring of Ethan Van Sciver.
Because one of the things that Comicsgate claimed from the beginning was that they wanted to support merit. Look at this.
They've never done it.
The merit they're supporting?
I've never seen them support merit.
They
only support loyalty.
Yeah, exactly. It's always been, there's never been any supporting of merit in Comicsgate in history. Like even with Ethan never wrote comics before, at least for 20 years. So they weren't supporting his merit either. They were just supporting the surface level gloss of like, oh, look at the shiny coloring and art. And that's
he may as well have printed the book upside down,
which is just but that's also like, that is the as we said, the rung of nerddom. The bottom is comic books because they only judge things based on the most shallow and surface level details, and that's proven. That's not our accusation or anything. That's Comicsgate went out and proved that right. So there is no argument to even be had. The argument has already been ended. Comicsgate lost.
The time for an argument has come and gone.
Yes, that time has passed. But it was, a lot of Liam's cope in response. He claimed Odie was saying he quit as an op and they would be talking business later. All that should be in gigantic sneer quotes, but
yeah, it's giant cope.
Yeah, and then Odie goes off and makes another comic and never talks to Liam again. Yeah, just earlier today, Odie was like, here's my new comic I'll be working on instead without Liam.
Looks like Odie is doing the right thing. He's taken the right steps and has moved on completely from this whole Liam Gray disaster.
Better late than never, I suppose. It is stupid that Odie was ever, involved even up to this point. After Liam Gray was criminally trying to blackmail people for our docs, and that Ethan Van Sciver paid. So if you're in Comicsgate, you have supported the funding of blackmail.
One other thing I also want to make sure people are clear on, by the way, is that this whole threat with the docs thing was half a year ago or more. Nothing has arrived of that.
Yeah, it was about half a year ago, and yeah, YouTube was informed and tagged, and they didn't do anything. Possibly, now this is speculation and opinion, but possibly Ethan Van Sciver bribed some people at YouTube in order to turn a blind eye, so that
it's safe to assume
he's also now complicit. And the reason why Ethan would do that for Liam not as a favor to Liam, but as protection for himself for Ethan Van Sciver's direct paper trail involvement that traces right back to him for funding Liam Gray multiple times, not just on his campaigns, but, super chats and being on his streams, being on his channel multiple times, having him on multiple times after all this shit was coming. Support Ethan Van Sciver even voiced support for Liam Gray false flagging our channel. And then when it backfired on Liam and everyone started attacking Liam, all of a sudden, like literally one day later, Ethan was like, "Oh, I don't like Liam anymore."
And he was completely spineless.
Or he was like, "Yeah, Liam is right. Liam's in the right." Ethan Van Sciver was actually saying that Liam was right to false flag and blackmail. He supported all of that,
which goes to show actually that Ethan Van Sciver is doubly spineless. I mean, he's spineless for being so afraid of our channel that he wants us shut down. He's also spineless that when called out on supporting that, he backed down on that too.
Behind the scenes, people have talked to Ethan, and he said that, he just wants our channel shut down. But he's also kind of admitted it in public, where he's like, "Yeah, these guys shouldn't be able to talk."
And he was so angry.
And pointed out.
He was so angry, he vomited up an entire gallon of ejaculate.
But here's another thing that Liam is, everyone gets to watch Liam in denial, being like after Odie.
Yeah, we didn't do this. We didn't do this.
We didn't do this to anyone. We didn't put a gun to their head and make them do this. We didn't make them support like Micah Curtis and stupid fucking Raging Golden Eagle. Both of them fat retards, of course, but both of them are still on Liam's side after all of this right now. Now, at some point, they'll probably, turn tail and run. But right now, they're showing their retardation, which is fine with us, of course, because all it does is validate us and continue to prove us
we're just standing
every single day.
We're just standing in place while these people are swinging punch drunk, slamming themselves in the faces with their own fist, and then crying about how we're so mean.
Yes, they strike them. They cry out in pain as they strike themselves.
What kind of person would do that? It's so horrible. There should be a parable about it, an eternal parable about the Der Capenkucken.
If only there was like 109 stories of such things to exist throughout history.
109 comic book companies that they've been ejected from.
Yes. In the 90s, 109 comic book companies went bankrupt. Did you know that? Well, how come people don't talk about that? Anyway,
109 superhero comic book companies.
Yes. Specifically, explicitly for comic book for cape shit. Anyways, the Odie
Xeno Rape. I guess he should change the name of his comic to Xeno Rape.
But people are watching. We'll wrap up with this because again, I want to go fucking do something much more important, like play video games. But people are watching Liam Gray go into objective denial, being like, "Oh no, we're still friends. Odie's still going to be working with me. This is all just an op for us to keep doing business together." And everyone's seeing that's a
great business decision. That's a great business strategy. Check it out. I'm going to let him talk about how I don't pay him.
Everyone's ignoring the truth of this. Is that they're laughing at Liam for doing that. Meanwhile, in 2018 and 2019, dozens of times over, Ethan Van Sciver did the exact same thing, and you're all just forgetting about it. There's nothing Liam Gray has done that's embarrassing or stupid that Ethan Van Sciver hasn't done 10 times more. Observed, objectively quantified with evidence and Ethan's weird cope, like where Ethan will say, "No, that didn't happen," and then here's like all these screenshots and DMs and shit of Ethan admitting that it happened and all that kind of shit. The Nurkish thing, Doug Tenaple, Tim Lim, and fucking just the one thing after another. And that's just the stuff that there's public information on. There's also a lot of things in private that Ethan denies, that it's like there's no screen caps of Ethan reporting. Like, somebody asked Ethan for a refund and Ethan responded by emailing the guy's boss to report him, to be like, to scream at the guy's boss about the guy who asked for a refund. for Cyberfrog, the original Cyberfrog. And Comicsgate, most of this shit is just completely out in the open and public, and Comicsgate itself goes into not denial. So there's nothing that Liam Gray is doing here that's embarrassing that Comicsgate as a movement collectively and individually hasn't done itself multiple times, possibly hundreds of times at this point. So all of this, people are saying, oh, this is funny, that it's so funny and stupid and embarrassing for Liam. No, this is funny and embarrassing and stupid for all of Comicsgate, because all of you in Comicsgate have been an example of this behavior. All of you have done this at some point or another, or multiple times over, or you've supported this behavior. Even now, as you're pointing and laughing at Liam Gray, we can point and laugh at you for having done the same thing. And that's why, again, we win, as usual. Every single day is just another fresh validation of shitty webcomics proving us right. And it's also why, like, fucking one of my favorite things to mention still is the time that Comicsgate, like 2 different people in Comicsgate tried to stream snipe us. And both of them had to shut down because we started mentioning things that they realized they didn't want their audiences to hear about, mostly involving Ethan, in fact. So that's why the real pros, the big, the real bigwigs, they listen to us, and they're subscribed to us, and they have been for years now. So all the little people, the insignificant little, the shills, and the
mere YouTube careerists.
Yeah.
That's actually who these people are. These aren't authors. These aren't writers. They're just people who have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, they're YouTubers, which is the worst thing you can be. People who fucking, like, they do every single day. Like, we'll fucking do a video like maybe once a week. Sometimes when special things happen, more often. But if you do daily videos, then you're a YouTuber. And if you're not, like, unless you're like even Red Letter Media doesn't do daily YouTube. Like fucking Pyrocynical with his goofy shit. He's still a better YouTuber than everyone in Comicsgate, or these like weird, they're like, we don't even touch on the Star Wars fans, which are apparently even more mentally ill, like fucking screaming, like wife beating psychopaths. And I don't even really know anything about it. I just heard people being like, oh yeah, that one guy from the Star Wars fandom menace is like a fucking a just abject psycho, and that people don't want to admit it because they just want to be told what they want to hear. So that's the reality of destroying pretty lies, and that's what we're all about. And that's why the cool people listen to us, and the gay nerds are afraid to watch our videos or anything. Anyways, He's also advertising Xenorape 2. Oh, no. That was a good game, though. Oh, wait. Was that a game? Anyways. Yeah, so that wraps it up. Yet again, Shitty Webcomics wins. Don't blame Shitty Webcomics. And, just to always eternally remember the warning against the eternal Cape Cuck is should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.